Okay, what we have here is a 2008 Honda Accord. Key won't turn in the door lock. Just took the door lock out. Oh, look at that, it turns sometimes. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do is remove it and repair it. Very common for Honda door locks, trunk locks, ignition locks. They're great locks and keys. Nobody can steal these cars. They have a chip in it, but oh, look at that, I got it to turn. But what happens is they're so high security, the pins are so small that they don't last very long. What it is the pin rides right on the edge of that key like that. Most pins right across the whole top of the lock, but the way they make these laser cut keys, this little tip here wears out much quicker. The more susceptible to dirt and grime, and so we're just going to rekey this real fast. Try to keep this camera from shaking. Also, what happens is the lubricant they put in these locks is just terrible. It's like a silicone and a white grease type of stuff. And it just turns to cement over time. I say cement, it just gets hard like cement. Gets gummed up with dirt and they just jam up. Here we got a pin here. This pin is not coming out. And it's the same with all Hondas. All door ignition locks are basically all the same inside. So what we do is we get all the springs out. The springs are okay, and these are stainless steel. They last pretty much forever. It's the pins that wear down. So get all the springs out, get all the pins out, and we'll clean it right out. See if I can get this pin out. I'm going to have to use some vice grips. There we go. So what I like to do is use some Crown rust proofing spray. Just spray the holes. Just get them cleaned right out. What happens is there's always junk in these locks. And just take a pick and stick it in all the holes and get anything out of there. You know, the lubricant turns to almost like plastic. It gets white and hard, and it actually turns into chunks. And also, a lot of times, actually see if I can find some, it's like that, it's just hard. I use baby wipes, but you have to be careful with baby wipes too, because pieces can flake off the baby wipe, and you don't want that to get in the lock. But you have to get these locks clean. So I do, you can't see now, but I'm holding it up to the light, and I'm making sure there's nothing in there. You can see that there's little chunks of coagulated grease. They're stuck in this lock. You have to get all those pieces out. So take your time when it comes to cleaning. So I'm spraying in every hole. Making sure you get everything out of there. And hold it up to the light. Still not clean. Keep putting your pick in there. Clean out them holes. Make sure it's nice and clean before you start putting any picks or any pins in there, sorry. Okay. Can't show it, probably won't see it, but I made sure those pinholes are completely clean. Make sure everything is spotless. So I have my pin kit here. And I'm just going to take the proper pins, put it in the hole. So what you do is you line your finger up here, the lock there, and then you can read the pins. So that looks like, let me double check on this side, 3 and a 5. What you want to do, and you have to start at the tip end and work your way back, because you have to hold the pins in the lock. Let me put the tip one in here first. Okay, so I said a 3 and a 5, right? So we're going to need tweezers for these pins. It's a 3. It's a 5. Make sure you get a clean work area. You don't want nothing getting on these pins. Yeah, that was a 3 and a 5. Check both sides. Turn it over. Hold your finger there. Put your finger underneath the pins so they don't fall out, and check the other side. And that is a 1 and a 1. Get 1 and a 1. These pins don't go in the lock so easy. You need a pair of tweezers to line it up. A pair of Locksmith tweezers. You can't use any other tweezers because they won't really work. So use your pin tumbler tweezers, they'll work good. You just make sure it lines up on both sides. It's perfect. Okay. And then that's a 5 and a 3. You gotta hold the pins in with your hand. If you don't, they'll pop out. Should I say a 5 and a 3? The 5 pin in. Oh, that lined up good. that's not a 3. That's a 2. That wasn't a 3, it was a 2. Put the 3 back and grab me a 2. Oh, I just realized that's not a 5 either. That's a 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that pin right out of there. I find 6s have a problem, and I don't want to have any problems with this lock. If it's missing one pin, it's not a big deal. Now you take the small screwdriver and you clean the housing out. Same way you clean the ignition, you got to clean the housing. You don't have to use a pick. Just use a small flat screwdriver and scrape out all that old clumpy lubricant. And then spray it. Some good Crown Rust Proofing T32 all-purpose spray. I like it the best. There's other lubricants. I don't recommend WD-40. There's some good lock lubricants on the market, but I like the Crown. You get a big bottle. The thing works miracles. Prevents freezing and rusting, and calcium. This is a really good lock lube. And let's put this together and see. Boom, works perfect. Now also check your keys. If the key is worn, you're gonna need new keys. They're really thick, good keys, but if the tip wears down right here, you're gonna need new keys. The key has to be firmly in the lock here. So what happens is these tips on these edges start to wear down, and the key moves like this in the lock. That's no good. So let me check this other key here. Yeah, it's a valet key. Usually they're pretty good. This one looks perfect, and that's it. That's how you recode the door lock for any Honda 2003 up.